I have served for eons, Cetrion,
That is your sole purpose.
but not my sole desire.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. So basically I wanted to talk to you guys today about the one and only Geras and give my thoughts on him. So Geras is still, at least in my opinion, a S tier character. Even though they nerfed him, he's still really strong and still really good in the game. Now the character is not playing footsies. He's not even close to playing footsies. He's damn for sure not a footsie character. He's an up close and personal brawler that has crazy amounts of mix-up options and pretty solid damage mid-screen, including when he gets into the corner. He has solid crushing blows as well, and he has pretty good zoning overall. So what this variation has to offer is his sand pillar and his stepping it back move. Now his sand pillar can be used as a zoning tool to complement his sand trap, which is pretty much this low, because obviously some people hop up or they jump up into the air, not realizing that if they jump or something like that, they can get hit with this move, right? He can also use this in combos in the corner, or he can use it mid-screen when he goes for his 4-2-1-2. He doesn't really get much off of his 4-2-1-2, but I'll get to that in a moment. Now, when he amplifies, he can use this to either protect himself when his back is pushed into the corner, or he can use this like straight up right here and then start zoning, because what happens is that if the opponent comes in, they have to watch out from the sand pillar when he amplifies it, because they will get hit and popped up, which will ultimately allow him to put you into a combo. So they have to be very careful and pick and choose what they're going to do here, right? So you can definitely set this up in different directions. So if you try to jump forward, he can hit you like right in that area right there. As soon as you land, or before you land, you end up getting hit like right there. Right now, keep in mind, he has to actually, you know, time his projectiles correctly, or like he has to like figure out where you're going to be at. He has to predict like, oh, is she going to be in front of me? Is she going to go away from me? Is she going to be mid-screen? So his projectiles take some skill to a certain degree, because you have to predict where the opponent's going to be and stuff like that. So that's actually pretty good in itself. He can't just sit there and just throw out a projectile and it just goes directly towards the opponent. Now keep in mind, if he whiffs, you can clearly see here, like he has a high recovery time, so majority of the opponents can definitely punish him, especially if he whiffs like right around this area. He can get full combo punish, so he has to be very careful. And he can also use this in setups, but I'll show that later on in the video. Now when it comes to his stepping it back move, it costs 1 bar of offensive gauge, which I'm kind of surprised that it does. I'm surprised it doesn't cost a defensive gauge, but that's just my opinion on that. So he can make himself plus on certain normals. Not only that, he can use this in combos. So like a clear example of this is like him going for like a standing 2. As you can clearly see here, I got a total of 4 hits. He can definitely use it like that. In the corner, he gets like, you know, good amounts of damage, as you can clearly see here. And then, you know, he can obviously do shit like this and then, you know, get a combo and then get an easy 41%, as you can clearly see here. And, you know, you kind of get the idea with his stepping it back. But not only that, see how like he's -3 on block. So let me get her to block real quick. See how like he's -3 on block. If I was to use this, look where I'm at now, right? So as you can clearly see, he is +3 on block. So this allows him to mix your shit up by going for like a 4-2 at this range, and then, you know, creating that mind game with like his command throw. He can also do this like this, so you're kind of stuck into like a really strong mind game to a certain degree, because he can use his plus range to whiff punish you very easily, and then, you know, get this crushing blow out, or he can hit you with a forward 1, and, you know, you kind of get the idea with that. When he goes for his back 2, he is literally -2 on block, but he's -3 now. Now if he's in the correct area, he can make himself a little bit more plus on block. Let me see if I can get it. Where's that distance at? So there we go. See, and now he becomes +4 on block. So then he can go for his forward 1 if he wanted to, but he would have to dash up like really quickly, and that would be a 10 frame forward 1, right? Because if you do 14 minus +4, that's obviously 10 frames. So there's that, right? So you guys kind of get the idea with these two. And then in the corner, let me just show you guys the setup real quick. All right, guys, so Geras can, you know, use this stuff for pressure in the corner. He can also use this for a crushing blow, depending on how minus the opponent is. So let me see if I can show you guys this shit real quick. See what I mean? And you're pretty much almost dead. Even if she was to go for like her up 3, that leaves her -8 on block. Geras can obviously get pressure on her because then he can hit her with a command throw, he can hit her with a 50-50, and this is just the beginning of like his setups in the corner. I haven't even shown you guys the other setups, but this is just like a clear example of it. So yeah, that's pretty much how you can kind of like use his little sand pillar, like when you amplify it in the corner, and like his stepping it back move. So now we're going to talk about his special moves. Alright guys, so when it comes to Geras's little back forward one, this is his main combo starter pretty much. This is how he gets like most of his combos to actually come out, as you guys can clearly see right here. And then he can do shit like this to you and stuff. So you know, you kind of get the idea with this, right? Not only that, he can go for a broken reset, right? So let me show you guys that real quick. So if you fuck up, this is exactly what will happen to you, right? And then you're in the correct range for his sand trap. Right, so obviously you kind of get the idea here. You're kind of put into a certain dilemma now. Some people may think that they can't get out of it, but you actually can. So let me show you guys that real quick. So when Geras does this broken reset bullshit, ironically enough, there's a flawless by gap in his move now, to where you can actually punish him. If he goes for the low option, there's a flawless block gap in it, but you don't need to flawless block that at all. But if he knows that you're going to block the overhead, he can hit you with the low, but you can still flawless block it and make him really -1 block if you want to, but he'll still be -19 on block. And if he knows that you're going to sit there and do that, he can actually dash up and then throw you and then create that mind game. And, you know, you kind of get the idea here, right? So that's pretty much everything about, like, this move. Now, when it comes to his sand trap, like I said, his projectiles actually take some skill because you have to predict where the opponent's going to be on the stage, because it's not like a regular projectile where you could just throw it out and boom, there I am, right? I'm getting hit by your projectile, right? So it says triggers if opponent is stand blocking. So a way he can get this out is obviously in the corner when he does like his little, when he does like his sand pillar setup, or he could possibly do it obviously right here. So if the opponent ends up like, you know, stand blocking because they think you're going to go for the overhead and they fuck up and stand up too quickly, this is what's going to happen. And if they stand up just in general from far away, Geras will be able to get this out. So those are two creative ways to actually get it out. Possibly three, depending on how the opponent reacts to certain shit that you do to them. And especially if they're standing up all the time, this is very easy work for Geras. He can obviously, like, you know, another way that he could do this is that, you know, he can use like his 7-frame, you know, overhead, you know, and then what's going to happen is that, you know, the opponent's going to fuck up possibly, and then he'll be able to do this. So that's another way that he could possibly get it out as well, because then they'll probably think he's going to do it, and then they're going to stand up. And if you're quick enough on reaction, then you'll probably get this out, right? And what I mean by quick enough on reaction, I'm talking about like if you see them like blocking up like that, you can immediately get this move out, then you'll get that. So that's another way that you can actually get this move to actually come out, right? Keep in mind, my crushing blows is off. Okay, so now when it comes to like his Titan tackle, it says triggers if opponent is carried at maximum distance before hitting the wall. So what's interesting about this is that he has like this move where he gets unbelievable amounts of range on you, right? And what I mean by range on you, I mean like range, nigga. Like he can carry you all the way to the fucking corner, bro. And what's funny is it doesn't require him a bar meter to carry you all the way to the corner, and he gets a solid 30%. And even when you're in the corner, you cannot up 2 him, you cannot up 3 him, you cannot roll out the corner. You are pretty much stuck. And if you get up and disrespect, you will get hit with this move, which allows Geras to actually come in and then starts up his game, or he can go for his forward 1 and then create that mind game with whether or not you're going to guess whether or not he's going to commit into the second hit of this string. So he can also carry himself out of the corner with this move as well. So if you fuck up, he can hit you with like a down 1 or a 4-2, and now your back is down there. And if you get up disrespecting, he can obviously hit you with the low, or he can dash up and gain more space. And he's pretty much out the corner for free. So if he manages to hit you with this move, he successfully won the footsie war. And you can clearly tell the nigga's not playing the game's fucking meta. So, you know, this move pretty much says, you know, fuck the footsie game, fuck the neutral game. You know, I mean, nigga, like, if I could do this to you, then what's the point of me playing that game when I could just catch you off guard with this shit and create that strong ass mind game with my combo strings and call it a day. Like it's easy shit, you know what I'm saying? It's very easy shit to take advantage of, because as you can clearly see here, like you see that, like you're in the corner now. So I mean, I successfully won the footsie war. Once your back is pushed into the corner, you're done. Like, so it's just that simple, right? So that's pretty much his Titan tackle. Now you can use this in combos if you want to. So a clear example of this is like him jumping up like this, and then he does this, and then he carries you into the corner, and then next thing you know, you get hit with a crushing blow. And keep in mind, my easy crushing blows is off, and as you can clearly see, he gets substantial amount of damage on you, and you know, you kind of get the idea. Now when it comes to this big fist move, he's going to be using this and certain combo strings that he has access to, so that way he can actually make himself safe on block. This will also help him out when there is a flawless block gap in the middle of his combo strings, and he is safe on block to where you cannot neutral crouch, despite the fact that it is a high. Now it says triggers after 2 counter or punish hits in a row. Now keep in mind, this crushing blow is kind of rare to actually get out, which is really unfortunate, but you know, it is possible for him to get it. But the thing is that the opponent is constantly getting up and pressing a button, then he will be able to get it. But overall, it's going to be rare that he'll be able to get this out. That's just my opinion. So that's pretty much it for that. You can make himself safe, and you know, you could possibly use it as a combo ender if you want, but there's no reason to do that, because he's mainly going to make himself safe on block when it comes to certain strings, mainly when it comes to his 4-2-1-2 string, because he has a flawless block gap in the last hit that leaves him -6 on block. And like I said, it's kind of rare that he can get the crushing blow requirement out for this, but it's definitely a really quick move for 14 frames, a lot quicker than his forward 1, I think. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much his special moves. And when it comes to his fatal blow, he has fantastic range on it, as you guys can clearly see right here. And yeah, I mean, you know, he has fantastic range on it, and he has massive amounts of pushback, so it's going to be really hard to get a full combo punish on this character if he does it at the correct ranges. He can also use this in combos, mainly with like his forward 1, you know, forward 1/3 string. He can definitely use this, but I'll get to the strings in a moment here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his special moves, and now we're going to dive directly into like his combo strings, you know, his grabs and his far-reaching normals and pokes and shit like that. So let's just get started on that. Alright guys, so when Geras goes for his out of time string, he has access to a lot of mix-ups. So if he goes for a standing 1, that's a mind game in itself right there, and then you're going to be forced to jump into the air because his command throw is not normal, because you can't necessarily neutral crouch it. So if I take this off and then have Cetrion, you know, neutral crouch, as you can clearly see here, she still got caught, right? So this causes a problem. So if you jump and he predicts you're going to do that, then he can put you into a combo, and then he has access to a 50-50 to where you have to guess on which option he's going to go for, right? So if you fuck up, his reward is actually really high, right? So either one, he's going to knock you down and get a decent amount of damage, which is not a lot of damage, but it guarantees him the knockdown, where he has a hit advantage of 27 frames, which is really good, right? If you fuck around and duck, however, he gets combo damage. So this, you kind of get the idea here. This causes a problem, and if you get up and try to disrespect, he can hit you with this. And if you decide to get up and respect, this allows him to get in on you and then hit you with a forward 2 before you can press a button, or a forward 1 before you can press a button. So you might want to be careful with that. Now, what he could do here is that he can mislead you by thinking that he's going to go for a 50-50, and then what happens is that he could possibly take another turn, go for a different normal, or he could backdash, or he could throw you and mislead, you know, pretty much mislead your timing, you know what I mean? So this kind of causes a problem in itself, and off of 1 string, he pretty much has all these options. Another thing he can do is that he could just hit you with the knockdown like this if he doesn't have access to the crushing blow anymore. But if he wants to, he can cash out on damage if he wants. It's really up to him, and as you can clearly see, he gets 23% damage. So that's actually pretty good for a combo string. So yeah, that's pretty much everything with this string right here. When it comes to his forward 1/3 string, he can use this in combos, right? So he can switch sides with you if his back is pushed into the corner as well. So keep that in mind. So like if he puts you into a combo, more than likely if his back is pushed into the corner, he's going to switch sides with you. And that's something that you need to keep in mind, because it depends on, like, how should I put it? Like, it depends on the situation, right? So, like, in this situation right here, Geras would want to go for his 4-2-1 and then hit you with a command throw. You know what I mean? That's what he would want to do. You know what I mean? There's no reason for him to switch sides with you mid-screen. I mean, not unless you're trying to show off combos or some shit like that. That's really up to you, right? But he's going to go for his 4-2-1, and then he's going to go and push you into the corner. Now, if his back is pushed into the corner, however, that's when he's going to switch sides with you. So you need to understand that there's different combos for situations like this, and you shouldn't just switch sides with the opponent just because you get all this kind of damage or whatever the case may be. Because when you do this, what happens is that you're at a disadvantage, right? And what I mean by a disadvantage, say for instance, like I did a side switch here. This is something that I want to tell you guys real quick because I'm trying to multitask and do the combo at the same time. But this is the problem. Say for example, you end up side switching her just like this in the middle of your combo. Who's at a disadvantage here? Geras or Cetrion? Geras. Reason why is because you put your back to the corner, and that's not a good idea because she has all that space to where she can zone you, and your back is pushed into the corner, and you can't do anything about it except for try to push yourself out of the corner. So there's different types of combos for different types of situations. So I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to, you know, take it upon yourself to do something like that. So in a situation like this, Geras would want to use his forward 1+3 situation, right? Now, if you're trying to cash out on damage, then I can understand why, you know what I mean? I can understand why you would want to do that. And let me see if I can show you guys what I mean by this, right? So if you're trying to cash out on damage, then you use the crushing blow and you have a good amount of space to where you can get out of a bad situation, and you know, you kind of get the idea here. But don't sit there and just side switch just because, oh, I can side switch you, haha. Like, no, don't do it, because it's like, it depends on where you are in the state. So say for example, I'm like right here. What do you think I should do? I'm gonna side switch this bitch. I'm literally gonna sit here and I'm gonna do this once I put her into a combo, and if the opponent knows for a fact that I can side switch her, right, or side switch them, excuse me, then they're gonna try and break out because they don't want to be put into that corner. You get what I mean? So there's different types of combos for different types of situations. That's pretty much where I'm getting at. But overall, yeah, this is pretty much everything about this string. And then he can kind of cause a mind game because you don't know whether or not this is all he's going to do, or he might commit into the string so that way he can actually catch your ass off guard. But if she is pushed like right over here to the corner, more than likely he's going to do this and possibly use a bar meter to actually get a combo on her. So you might want to watch out from that because he can create somewhat of a mind game off of that. And that's pretty much everything. And then also he can actually use this with his fatal blow. He can actually just do shit like this, as you can clearly see. And you know, you kind of get the idea with that string. And when it comes to his 2-4-1 string, there's a 50-50 situation in there, but there is a flawless by gap in the low right here, right? But off of his standing 1, guess what he can get? A command throw. So this kind of causes a problem because if you get hit with the second hit, he can carry you to the corner and you lost the footsie ward, right? So you might want to be careful with that. Now in the corner, right, he can actually get a combo on you. So if you fuck up, he can freeze you and do shit like that. So you might want to be careful, right? Now, if he hits you with the overhead, he gets really good amounts of hit advantage, as you can clearly see here. And like I said, there is a flawless block gap in it, but he can replace that low with this if you try to flawless block him. Now he has pretty good frame data, as you can clearly see here. He's -4 on block, and when he goes for the overhead, he's -1. So his down 1 will no longer be 6 frames, it will be 7 frames. So if you do 6 plus -1, that will become a 7 frame down 1, right? So you can definitely challenge majority of the down 1s in the game and stuff. So some opponents, they end up blocking so that way they can take their turn, and if you try to backdash, it's not gonna work, right? So he can obviously blend your shit up by going for like a double low. And the reason why you're going to block low anyway is because he gets more damage off of the low. So obviously he can abuse you and hit you with the overhead, and this allows him to possibly take another turn. And you know, you kind of get the idea with this string. When it comes to his back 2-2, you can use this in a corner combo, which I showed you guys. So let me see if I can show you guys another example of a corner combo. So when Geras goes for like a combo of his choosing, he can use his back 2-2 to like hit her with a command throw to get like, you know, obviously good damage, as you can clearly see here, and that's a clear example of that. But mainly you're going to use this for plus frames. So like if Geras was right here, right, he's -9 on block. So let's see if there's a flawless by gap in it. Nope. So since he's -9, there's no flawless by gap. He can actually do shit like this and make himself more safe on block. Reason why he's going to commit into the second hit is because he thinks that you're going to press a button after he does this. Reason why he's going to do this is because he's only -2 on block. Keep in mind the startup time is 16 frames, but he has pretty good range on it, as you can clearly see here. And if I space it out like this, he becomes -1 on block. Now he can use this move right here, and he becomes +3 on block. Now if I space it out, he becomes +4. So let me see. Yeah, there we go. That's the right distance. See that? I mean, he becomes +4 on block, which means that if you do 14, you know, minus +4, guess what? That's a 10 frame mid. So now he has really good range on his mid, and he has a 10 frame mid. So, you know, you kind of get the idea with that. You can use it in the combos. You can also use it to possibly go for an Abare on the opponent. And then when the opponent tries to press a button, and you see that they press the button because you're getting them so used to seeing this, right? Because they know you're trying to press a button afterwards, you can actually commit into this, and then when they fuck up, you can hit them with the command throw and then knock them way over there. And, you know, you kind of get the idea with this string. Alright guys, so when it comes to Geras' 4-2-1-2 string, Geras can actually hit you with a command throw like this. And that causes a problem for you because now you don't know whether or not he's going to do it. So if you fuck up, that allows him to put you into a combo. The last hit of this 4-2-1-2 string has a flawless by gap in it. So what he can do is that he can actually take it upon himself to actually hit you with a big fist. And as you can clearly see here, if you try to flawless block, you will get hit. So if the opponent decides to respect, then, you know, obviously he can get this out, and then he can get extra chip damage, and then he can obviously do shit like this, and that's actually really good for Geras, right? Also, he can get a combo in the corner, which I'll probably show some combos at the end of this video of that, and some clear examples of what you can do in the corner against the opponent when he goes for his 4-2-1-2 string. Now, mid-screen, he used to be able to go for like his forward 1, but now it's not really possible to do that. He used to be able to get like a sand trap out as well, and I've been timing it every single time and it's not working in my favor. But what he can do is that he can do this if you decide to do it, and if the opponent decides to get up and try to get away, his forward 1 will always hit them, depending on what they try to do. Now, you know, if you do manage to hit the opponent with the last hit, I mean, pretty much that's what you can get off of it, but I don't think it's really a good idea to do that. I would rather wait until I hit the opponent in the corner with this string, but that's just my opinion. It's really up to you guys what you want to do with it. When it comes to his 4-2-2 1+3 string, he has a crushing blow requirement that does unbelievable amounts of damage to you if you fuck up. So, you know, he gets definitely combo damage. I think it's like 34%. So, I mean, you know, that's fucking absurd, but it is what it is. And in the beginning of the match, depending on what character you're going against, if they try to advance forward onto you with like a slow mid that starts off at like 12 frames, 13 frames, 14 frames, Geras can go for his forward 2-2 and get an easy crushing blow on the opponent. And I know for a fact you guys have seen it in my online matches with Geras. You can definitely use it for that. And not only that, when it comes to his forward 2-2, he is safe on block, but there's no reason to do it, not unless you're trying to get a crushing blow on the opponent. Other than that, I don't see anything useful about this string whatsoever. And another good use of this is that when the opponent is backing up in the beginning of the match, if they try to like swing a button at you because they're trying to whiff punish you, they're obviously going to try and hit you with their best far reaching normal. So if they get hit with the low, which more than likely they will, this allows Geras to get his crushing blow either way. So that's pretty much everything about that. And I made a video about Nightwolf reflecting his forward 2-2, so I'll show that in this video very soon as well. So when it comes to his you know, his forward 3, he's -3 on block, and like I said, he can use you know, this little reverse time move to where he can make himself +3 on block, which allows him to hit you with a command throw. This also allows him to do this shit to you right here to create a mind game, so you need to keep that in mind. And, you know, this starts up at 11 frames, so this is a pretty good mid to go for at close range. You can kind of create a mind game because you don't know what he's going to do afterwards. So, you know, he is -5 on block when he commits into that string. Now, he is -3 on block, but once he uses that little time move, if we do 11 minus +3, now his 4-2 is actually 8 frames on startup. So that's actually really good because some opponents won't be able to challenge this at all. Well, most opponents can, depending on what their startup time is on their down 1 or their standing 1 and stuff like that. But he uses plus frames to whiff punish you and then hit you with this. So, you know, you kind of get the idea, and then that allows him to get a combo. So he could definitely use that to his advantage. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Overall, Geras is still an S tier character. He's still really strong. He's still really good if you know what you're doing. And he's not playing the game's meta, so don't be surprised if you're getting your shit mixed. Alright guys, so when it comes to throws and stuff, Geras has really strong throws. Reason why is because it leaves him unbelievably close to you, to where he can keep throwing you like this and being super annoying, and he can keep just doing it over and over again. And depending on how minus you are on your up 3 or your up 2, he can take advantage of it by dashing up, blocking, and then whiff punishing you. Or he could just punish you, depending on how minus you are. He can actually hit you with a crushing blow. If you delay your wake up, you know, that allows him to hit you with mix-ups because you don't know what he's going to do. And if you disrespect, he can hit you with, obviously, his 4-2-1 and get a combo if he makes the correct read. If you try to roll, you're obviously going to get thrown, so it's not really in your best interest to do that. And his best far-reaching normal would have to be his forward 1, right? So he can kind of create a mind game with this forward 1 because he can keep doing this, and then when you fuck up, he might be able to do this, or he could just do this and switch sides with you and then hit you with like a sand trap. So at close range, he is -7 on block. When he's like right around this area right here, he becomes -5. If he's a little bit closer, he becomes -6 on block. So let me get her to block like that. Just move up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. He becomes -6 on block, right? So that's like his best far-reaching normal. And then when it comes to pokes, you're not going to go for his down 3 because this down 3 is trash. As you can clearly see right here, hit advantage is 7 frames, so that's nothing. When it comes to his down 4, he has a high hit advantage of 14 frames, so he can easily, like, because normally when people go for down 4s and they hit you with a down 4, normally the opponent's always moving and shit, so he can easily hit you like this if you try to press a button, and that can actually set up a counter when it comes to his big fist. So just keep that in mind. Another thing is that he can actually go for his little sand trap and then hit you if you try to press a button, so you might want to be on the lookout for that shit. So if you try to neutral crouch underneath this after you block his low, because he is -12 on block, so he's definitely going to make himself safe on block by going for his big fist. He can hit you with the low if you try to neutral crouch, so that's kind of like a little mind game that he has there. So just, you know, you might want to be careful with that particular situation. When it comes to his down 1, 6 frames, highly effective, has really fantastic range. When I space it out just like this, his hit advantage increases to 12 frames. At close range, it's 11 frames. And then when you block, he's -5 on block. If he spaces it out correctly, he becomes -4 like that. And then he can hit you either with this, or he can hit you with this, right? Now, keep in mind, when you punish him, you can go immediately for a down 1 because the character cannot necessarily, you know, like, jail you into this. So you can definitely get him out of this, you know, particular situation if he takes it upon himself to, you know, go for a special move. And, you know, he can mash a double down 1 to get you to respect. So you might want to be on the lookout for that. That's pretty much like his best far-reaching normal, his pokes, and his throwing. Alright, let's pick my nigga Nightwolf real quick. We're going to pick Geras. So Nightwolf has the ability to reflect Geras' 4-2-2. Now, I made a video about this way back in the past, but I wanted to show you guys this again, right? Now, if Nightwolf goes for this, it's interesting. Now, Geras can block afterwards, but I'm going to show you guys something interesting about it, right? So when Geras goes for this, I'm just going to mash a up 3 like this, so that way the wake up actually comes out. See this? Hold on. Okay, there we go. So watch how delayed it is. You see that? You see how Geras wasn't able to, like, you know, go for his wake up immediately? So I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? You see what the fuck just happened? So if Geras does this against Nightwolf, Nightwolf pretty much has the advantage here. And if the Geras player doesn't know anything about this, they will get caught off guard with this, to where they're gonna try and go for their wake up, right? And when they try to go for their wake up, this is going to allow, you know, Nightwolf to actually get a free combo punish if they don't know anything about it. And once they know something about it, this allows Nightwolf to actually continue pressure afterwards, because he can go for a poke like this. Now, it's not guaranteed that this will actually work, and what I mean by that is that the opponent has the ability to block it, but the whole point is that if they don't know anything about it, what's going to happen is that they're going to get hit with a free poke, which they're going to be stuck into a mind game between a throw and a mid situation, or they're going to get hit with a full combo punish. But once they see that you did this, this allows Nightwolf to actually go for this right here, and he can get a crushing blow on the opponent when they block low, right? Now, Geras also has really good range on his forward 2-2, as you can clearly see right here, so you can definitely catch the opponent off guard and use it as kind of like a projectile as well. So keep that in mind. But like I said, Nightwolf can definitely catch the opponent off guard because they're going to be so focused on trying to hit you with a, you know, an up 3, and then they're going to get their shit folded. You know what I mean? So, you know, you kind of get the idea here. Nightwolf can definitely like be like, nah, fuck that shit, son. And if you don't know anything about it, like I said, this is what's going to happen to you. And then, you know, Nightwolf can obviously get a combo on you and then do whatever the hell he wants to do. And, you know, you kind of get the idea here. And that can kind of cause a problem for the Geras player, which is obviously going to force them not to, you know, press a button. On top of that, when the Geras player does that shit, you can obviously jump up and do that, or you can jump up and do this. So you kind of get the idea with that. And like I said, one more thing I want to show is that the Geras player, if they know about it, they're obviously going to just sit here and do this just to test it out, just to see what they can do about it. And what's going to happen is that they're going to get hit with it, right? But if it's timed correctly, Nightwolf can actually, you know, do this shit right here, right? And this will catch the opponent off guard if they don't know anything about it, right? Because they're gonna think like, oh, he's probably gonna hit me with a poke, and the next thing you know, I do this shit really, and it comes out really quick, and they don't see the shit coming, and then they get hit with a crushing blow. So that's everything for Geras. I think I'm probably gonna show some combos real quick with Geras in the corner, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's just get started on that.
Fatality. Geras wins. Flawless victory.